But we're good to go right now. Our officials for today's game: Royce Blevins is our crew chief, Chastity Taylor and Travis Jones make up the court's judges today. One thing too about the Notre Dame lineup, Nikki, is that Notre Dame, of the 5 starters, that consumes 76% of their minutes played this year. By contrast, JMU starting 5 take up 68%. That's another adjustment that Coach Neil Ivey will have to concern herself with today. And Notre Dame with the opening possession. And the basket will tumble on in, taken by Prosper. Here's the starting lineup for the Dukes of JMU, brought to you by Atlantic Union Bank. McDaniel, Robinson, Stevenson, Barnes, and McDonough. That has been the starting lineup for James Madison since the opening day. And the steal at the end line, picked up there by Cowles, who gets the start today. And here's the starting 5 for the Fighting Irish: De Jesus, Hidalgo, Prosper, Cowles, and Sanchez. Rebound comes down to Barnes. Lost the handle on the basketball. Again, playing with the protective nose gear. A nice little tap there. There is Hidalgo, just as she is. What a presence on the court. Give her the assist.
And that's the thing, back with the starting lineup, you have 3 grad transfers on the floor right now for Notre Dame. So very much a veteran type of group out there.
And running the floor with a lot of smoothness there, it is Prosper again. JMU, a bit of a turnover in its personnel. Same for the Fighting Irish. A lot of new faces from last year's affair as well. Here's Bree Robinson, drops it off, and a foul on Hidalgo.
For her to be able to see that and deliver that off the rebound is a very high IQ play.
58% shooter from the free throw line, just improves with that one. 23 out of 39, and pops in another, does Ashanti. He's coming off an 18-point performance against VCU. The Dukes played here a week ago, knocking off the Rams in a Commonwealth clash, 81-63. Hidalgo from the outside.
And already we've seen her do just about a little bit of everything, and that's what she's known for.
McDaniel, long range 3. Off the mark for McDaniel. McDaniel, since the Virginia Tech game, which is 4 games ago, is shooting 56% from the field and 53% on 3-pointers. Actually, that goes back to the Texas game 5 games ago. And an offensive rebound pulled in by Cowles, lofted in Sanchez, no good for her. Sanchez, another transfer. Arizona, then Kansas State. Here goes Barnes, count the bucket. Barnes goes back to the free throw line. She's got 4 points and make it 5 on the afternoon. There's Coach Sean O'Regan in his 10th season at the helm. 218 wins and 84 losses. He's got some marquee victories already. This is the 3rd ACC opponent James Madison facing this year. That's a 3-pointer just outside the arc, and it's dropped in. Iyana Moore, who seems to be coming on of late, transfer from Vanderbilt. Duke's getting some threes up, just not connecting. 12-5, this pace favoring the Irish right now. Hidalgo from out of New Jersey. Merchantville. Nice pass over the top. Nice collection, nice finish for Prosper. She has a half dozen, and the Dukes aren't waiting for the media timeout. Sean O'Regan will take it.
There wasn't just one area that she was focused on offensively in the summertime. It was a more all-around approach, and guys, we're already seeing it in this first quarter.
Yeah, as you mentioned, David, it was a holistic approach for her coming off an injury. Stuck around during the summertime. It has improved her game quite dramatically. Stevenson launches a tray. The Dukes 0 for 5. Barnes with the putback. She has all 7 for James Madison. Got to cut on that down to begin with. One thing noticing Prosper, those long arms, she can stand back behind an opponent and reach. And Iyana Moore at the free throw line, shooting 83%, just 5 out of 6 thus far this season.
Another grad transfer there for Notre Dame, and Coach Ivey talked about how she's kind of coming into her own so far this season, finding her rhythm, especially on the offensive end. Stevenson
out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Played a little basketball at Ole Miss to start her career. Up and under, tough shot.
Earlier earlier on, the drop off to Ashanti Barnes, that time a nice little lay-in. So it's great to see her getting downhill and attacking the paint.
Prosper dishes on over to Moore, near side. 9 on the shot clock. Three-pointer launched up, and it's good with McDaniel right there with her. Moore was 7 points as she connects for her 13th triple of the year. She shoots it at a pretty good rate, 40%. The Dukes get a bucket, and McLeod gets herself into the scoring column. Well, now she's starting to produce a little bit more offense. She too a player that was injured last year. Prosper fires it up. Wow, nice shot. She's got 9. Her brother played at Marquette and also in the NBA. Floater won't go, gets her own board and kicks it on out to Robinson. Back to Stevenson. Delilah Soltis also on the floor for the Dukes right now. McDonough has gone back out for the Dukes. Number 22, the starter. Williams in a bit of a trouble. Yep, and there's a ball stolen away. And right away, Hidalgo breaks free and gets the layup. They will do that. If they get a steal low, she breaks down the court, and they look for her right away.
I mean, a situation like that, a transition play, not much you can do. But De Jesus brings a calmness to the floor for Notre Dame.
That's 6 points off turnovers and a foul called against the Fighting Irish. You know, you just change the jersey. That was it. They look like carbon copies of one another.
She spent a season with the Memphis Grizzlies as well. That was actually the year John Morant won Rookie of the Year.
Shot clock is turned off. Hidalgo has the ball in her hands. Good crowd is on hand here today. It's one of the Duke Dog Reading Day programs. But Notre Dame certainly a good draw as well. Look at her split the defenders, fakes the pass. Hang on, we've got a foul. So this is the first time Notre Dame has played in Harrisonburg, but not the first time for Kelly Radigan. Last year for Loyola Maryland and a James Madison win early in the season. Yeah, there's a lot to this story, yes. The inbound stolen away. Hidalgo won't go, however. Notre Dame 25, James Madison 12. A pace certainly favorable to the Fighting Irish. That will happen to her every once in a while. She'll have a goose egg and a quarter and then explode right after that. She had, last time she was shut out in the first was against Virginia Tech here at James Madison, and she ended up with 14 in the second quarter, and a lot of that came late. Similarly at East Carolina, she scored all 22 of her points from the 3-minute mark of the second quarter on through the rest of the ball game. So she scores in bunches. Soltis fires up, and there's the first tray of the afternoon for James Madison. Sanchez lofts it low. Prosper pulls it out. Still plenty of clock to work with there. Prosper drives the line, going up against Barnes, and scores against Barnes. Prosper is in double figures. She has 11. She was an early enrollee at Notre Dame. De Jesus with 2 fouls. Hidalgo cuts in. She is fouled. Won't tumble in, but 2 free throws.
And you can see it just with her length, like you mentioned, but her ability to stretch the floor. She can knock down 3-point shots. She's tough in the paint. She has a mid-range game. So
that gives her 8. This is a team that is ranked 8th in the country in free throw shooting, 81%.
Well, there's so far in this game a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but points off of second chance opportunities.
Well, that looked like it was tumbling in, but it kicks right back out. Quickly, the angled pass. Down it goes to De Jesus. She backs it out with plenty of time on the shot clock at 20. De Jesus switches and finds some space and takes it to the rim. James Madison gets it spacing. McDonough with the dribble handoff from the keyhole. McDaniel, her first bucket comes. Soltis trying to defend against the taller Sanchez. Sanchez takes the shot and will score it.
And that's actually something you don't quite often see her doing, is posting up. So maybe just an opportunity, taking advantage of what she might think was a little bit of a mismatch. And
there we go. Yep, just a little fumble of the basketball right into the hands. Can't get a steal much easier than that. But
she's fully going to take advantage of that anytime she gets to.
Make that 10, beg your pardon. She's already in double figures. Miss on that. Soltis with the board for the Dukes. Stevenson brings it across the midcourt stripe. Stevenson against Hidalgo. Hesitates. Tough shot, a foul. Foul here in the second quarter against the Fighting Irish. And Stevenson goes to the free throw line.
And we've seen good things happen when the Dukes have gotten downhill and attacked the paint, whether that's easy looks at lay-ins, dump off. So an opportunity for the Dukes to recognize that and continue to try to expose Notre Dame in the paint. Again, Ashanti on track for another double-double. 7 points with her 7 boards right now. Yeah,
she's second in the Sun Belt in rebounding at 9.2. Say Dyer of Troy is up to 12.2. She had a big game recently. She was already in double figures, but picked up a couple of points on that. And there's Prosper, nice spin move.
And again, a situation there, you see her athleticism. She takes up almost all the paint on a simple move like that. Just really tough to guard.
Down low it goes. McLeod on the floor. Needs some help. Pushes it out. McDaniel open in the corner. Nice closeout, though. McDaniel will take it to the rim and finds enough space just to split the defenders. Now she'll ask for the screen. Here's the skip pass here to Prosper. Shot clock at 1 and a shot clock violation. 4:18 to go before halftime. Dropping it off inside to Barnes. Robinson, McLeod, and stepping right in front. It is Cowles. The miss by Hidalgo, tried to volley it out, misses on the flyby, and Marshall comes up with it for the Dukes. Here's Robinson in the keyhole, steps on through. Again, too strong, but the putback is there. Shanti Barnes. But this would be a real feather in the cap because conference play begins on Wednesday. The ACC has already opened up its conference schedule, and Fighting Irish have a win against Florida State. Over the top. Up and under, tumble on in, give the bucket to Cowles.
They're the weak side defender. I believe that time it was Ashanti Barnes, just a step late getting over there, even if she's kind of just in the way, being bothersome. So the Notre Dame players see her to try to deter them from even thinking about making that pass.
Dukes come up with a basketball. Barnes will drive and draws the foul. Best game this season, 12 points against Central Michigan. Here's Barnes back to the stripe for JMU as she has 10. So she just needs a couple of boards and another double-double. Down to 14 the spread, 38-24 with less than 2 minutes to go. Sanchez takes the big step after getting the pass. Prosper launches the three, front of the iron, rebound, tracked down off the floor. Soltis quickly finds Iyana. Her shot too strong. Second shot by McLeod is good. 8 for 20 at the free throw line, just 40%. Rebound Sanchez off the miss. Dukes as a team shooting at 69% on the year. And this is the last home game of the calendar year for the Dukes. They will ring in the new year with a conference game here on January the 1st. 2 o'clock affairs. McDaniel dribbling all the way to the baseline, and Hidalgo anticipating the pass comes up with the theft. Hidalgo. And it is a whistle against Stevenson. The ball handler is called for her third. She's 5 out of 6 at the stripe.
Tenacious and feisty on the court, and off the court, she's just this very calm, demeanored, kind heart young lady.
Yeah, she said bubbly versus feisty. Much chance to do anything with it. Coming up here at halftime, we've got some James Madison football news for you.
She said, thought we did a really good job with that. All right, let's go over to CC Evans, more on James Madison.
Yeah, David, Coach O told me he did what they feared, which is they decided to do it all themselves. He wants them to get back to defending. And speaking of the zones, he said he didn't expect a lot of the zones, but it should be aired out during that second half. So we'll see what happens now.
JMU maintaining the possession after the stoppage of play. Stevenson over the top. It comes out to McDaniel. McDaniel guarded by Prosper. Fadeaway shot comes up shy. And you can give Prosper a little credit on that also.
And a tough one, and obviously it sounds like what Coach O said at halftime is not just one person trying to do it. Very important to move the basketball. Everybody gets touches.
But significant in the win over the Seminoles. Stevenson leaves it out for Robinson. 6 on the shot clock. Barnes drives. No contact with the iron. That's a contact with the iron. Ball is still live. And it is Prosper that comes out with it. Bounces over to Hidalgo. And a chuck up with a three-pointer. Flat off the iron. Rebound. And a foul called against McDonough.
And that's another somewhat glaring stat for Notre Dame, but they average 38 points in the paint. So they do a really, really good job of getting down there. A lot of those easy shots versus relying on that outside shot. And already 22 paint points for Notre Dame in the game.
The Dukes have 14. Both teams with 7 points off the bench. James Madison's bench is a little deeper when it comes to numbers. And again, no KK Bransford. She did not make the trip. So Cowles, who just hit a couple of free throws, gets a lot of that playing time. Dropping it off for the assist. It is Ashanti Barnes finishing up the play. She has a dozen. That's a second assist for Robinson. Robinson and Stevenson combined for 12 assists last Sunday against VCU. Hidalgo finds her outlet to DeJesus, and she drops it down.
DeJesus for a three-point shot, but a matter of scrambling on the defensive end for JMU, finding whoever that open player is.
Penetrating the baseline. Now Stevenson from outside. Number 2 on her. Number 2 on the Dukes here in quarter number 3. DeJesus looking to give another assist to Hidalgo. The rebound wrestled away as McLeod comes up with it. There's Hidalgo right away as Robinson brings it on across. Robinson in the paint. Tough angled shot, uses the square. Got hit in the jaw on top of that.
I know she's one we've talked about before that could probably be a little more aggressive on the offensive end. There's not necessarily always a need for it, but great to see her have the confidence to get down there and get an easy shot up.
Tough shot, but it is good for Prosper. Prosper 15. And the other end, the bucket by Bree Robinson. Playing in her 65th collegiate game. Hidalgo drives among the crowd. Take your pick. You got a couple of Dukes to choose from. Hidalgo back to the free throw line and try to build on a 7 for 8 day at the free throw line. She has 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover.
2 under her average. She's averaging 5.6 steals a game.
We'll get that to you in just a moment. Ball just bounded too hard out of the hands. Robinson. Kick out right side. Prosper. Floater. Good.
You can see some frustration over on Coach O's face just with these turnovers that the Dukes have had so far, with some mishaps on the offensive end.
Ball on the floor. Coming out with it. Fighting Irish. Hidalgo going up against Soltis. She loses the handle. Scrap on the floor. They blew the whistle. I don't know that there really was anybody securing.
Coach AT and Coach Nas played D2, and Coach Fraser coached D2. Coach O believes those backgrounds are the backbone of who they are, which is a team that's ready to work.
Kayla Cooper-Williams playing here at James Madison, as well as Jamia Hazel and Annalisa Goodman. Also on his staff, Alex Tomlinson.
And certainly she grinds it out. She's a very, very hard worker, so I can speak to that. So it's not surprising at all to me that she's on Coach O's staff.
I was mentioning something that Ashton Pollard had provided about Hidalgo, and so in 9 games she had surpassed 60 points and 50 steals. When you look at the NBA, the WNBA, men and women, that's only happened once. Angel McCaffrey of Louisville did it in 07-08.
In good company.
So appreciate that research done by Ashton. Moore with a bucket. 9.
Right now, Notre Dame getting a lot of easy looks on the other end. Jane, you could do a little bit better job of contesting those and making it a little bit tougher.
That's a little 2-player game on that one, with Barnes drawing just enough attention. Skying shot. Prosper got a little too far down the line. Soltis running is cut off to Jesus. Williams, left-handed 3. Yes. Soltis has been at James Madison for almost a complete year. She came in last January after graduating a year ago from high school. A big skying rebound, number 11 for Barnes. Off to Stevenson. Stevenson finds some open space and takes it to the rim.
And honestly, a really heads-up play there by Stevenson. Initially, I thought she was going to pitch it out to Peyton McDaniel.
Yeah, from our angle, we could see that open up very cleanly. Prosper from the keyhole. Quiets the crowd quickly. Inside it goes. Barnes goes to Notre Dame. Hidalgo directing some traffic. Gets a screen. Tosses it high. The Dukes come away with the steal. Nice move by Williams. 3-on-1. Williams, Euro, and draws the contact. She'll try to pick up a couple at the free throw line. 4 out of 5 this season. And rattles in another game in which she also came away with 3 blocks that tied her career high. Waning seconds of quarter number 3. Put it inside. Just Coles backing it down, tossing it up, tossing it through. Stevenson calling for it. Williams, 3-pointer is shy. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter.
She also just mentioned it's a mentality, and well, this team has the right mentality.
She said, right away too, as here's a 3-pointer by McDaniel. That's her first points of the second half, and her first tray on 4 tries. That's just her 10th shot.
10th shot, 7th point of the game, and I was gonna say I would love to see the Dukes get Peyton going.
Foul called on Williams. Coles goes to the stripe. She is 2 out of 2. The number 10 post player in the country, coming out of high school from Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Transfer from Wake Forest. A very good field goal shooter. Of course, she's inside interior, but 55%.
When you talk about, solid post players coming out of high school, one that's on the bench for Notre Dame right now, Leah Macy. Really excited to see what she does, recovering from an ACL injury.
Stevenson going for the long ball that time, and she comes up with a steal. 3-on-3. Stevenson out-jukes Hidalgo and scores. So Stevenson in double figures for the 2nd time this year, 7th time in her career. Irish just 1 point this quarter. DeJesus drops it down low, flipping it up and scoring it quickly. Nikki Newman. There's no Marino in that.
Hey, I hope
but it's still you. It's still you. McDaniel, listening to the crowd, fires it up, hits iron. Rebound, though, Hidalgo, as she has been active on the board as well. That's her 5th.
And a tough possession there for JMU. A little bit slow moving the ball, so they weren't making the Notre Dame defense shift.
Long cross-court pass, and knocking it down is DeJesus. Foul on Hidalgo. That's her 3rd.
Nice pass and catch there.
McLeod right at what her average has been the last 5 games, 6.6.
That's the thing. A lot of good things can happen when you keep it simple. Not too much to it, just an easy pass in, a little drop step, and easy 2 for McLeod.
And Coles again gets it down low, up to 16 points. So Coles up to a season high 16. Her prior season high was 14 against Florida State. Over to Prosper. Went away with an extra little toe drag, it looked like. She'll take it back and make the deposit. That's on the floor, so no shots coming. That's the 3rd team foul against the Fighting Irish. Barnes powers her way through. Barnes, the 11th leading scorer in the Sun Belt. Peyton McDaniel, the top scorer in the league. Prosper working the baseline, working the foul, and she'll work at the free throw line. Angela Williams back on the hardwood for James Madison. Prosper goes to the free throw line to try to pick up point number 24, and she does so. Barnes at the elbow, didn't want the shot. Here's Williams, turnaround, left hand, no good. Rebound by Barnes, out of bounds. On the inbound, count the bucket. Foul was on Hidalgo, and that's her 4th. Old-fashioned 3-point play, capitalized by Ashanti Barnes, who's up to 19. Ashanti 29 points earlier this season. Sanchez, who is being worked on by the trainers, trying to stretch some things out, hits a triple, and she's got 7. That's number 12 on the year for her from beyond the arc.
And
2.5 to go.
Coming from Kansas State, I believe it was like a 97% increase in her 3-point shot from last year.
DeJesus off the lip of the iron, tracked down. There's McDaniel, gets the board. So she is tied Sierra Schreib on the all-time rebounding chart. They've been playing football for a little longer than that. There's another triple for Peyton McDaniel. 12-point ball game. Press is broken. Hidalgo right now just happy with bouncing the ball around a bit. Knocking seconds off the clock. And Coles doing what she has done very well today. She got the starting assignment today without Bransford, and she has done more than 16, 18 points. And she has played 34 minutes today. So she has filled the void quite nicely.
Certainly, and you can tell how strong of a player she is too. Again, when she's getting that deep into the paint, she's very hard to guard.
Only 1 point difference in the 3rd, and JMU actually winning this quarter. I was talking about JMU needing a fast defensive start, but the Irish, for James Madison, an opportunity lost because it could have been, if JMU doesn't win the conference tournament, there's always a question, are you going to get 2 out of the Sun Belt? And you try to strengthen your opportunities with a good non-conference schedule. Knocking off, they do have some good wins. Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, Villanova, Liberty, those are all quality wins.
but I think it's somewhat of a confidence builder in a way, too, because you go into games anticipating and expecting, hey, we're just as good. I love to see Coach O having continued doing that, just allowing the players to experience these type of games, but more as a confidence builder as well, obviously, to go along with that postseason play if for some reason you don't win the tournament.
Well, conference play is on the horizon for the Dukes, a non-conference game on the horizon for the Irish, and then into ACC play as the final horn does sound. Our producer today has been Kelly Bowmaster, John Hodges, our director, Ty Comer on replay, Eric Schei on audio, and Leah Wolf on graphics this afternoon. Again, thanks to the sports information directors John Belillo at James Madison and Ashton Pollard of the Fighting Irish.